Force, unregulated or ill-regulated, is like that of gunpowder burned in the open air. Hello, I'm Todd Gatewood, and today we're here to talk about something just a little bit different. It's summer, it's a hot summer in Oklahoma, it's a super wet summer in Oklahoma too, so I've kept super busy here just around the farm mowing, amongst other things. So while I'm taking a bit of a holiday, I wanted to take a little break from the usual that we do here and that I bring to you, and I want to talk about something a little bit different, a little bit off our topic of the Patterson film, although it can relate, because I want to tell you something. When someone gets a good film of a Sasquatch like Roger Patterson, or what we're going to talk about today, people are surely to say some terrible things about you. But before we go there, I want to say this. I want to say thank you for all the people that tuned in for the last episode of this season. These are seasons and episodes, so if you're just tuning in, you can go back, and I appreciate it. You can go back and watch the other ones. So it's in numerical order, and you can find your way through it pretty easy, and it'll make more sense to you probably that way. But thank you for tuning in. Hey, I'm really surprised, and thank you for the comments. I'm easy to find and reach. You can leave a comment below, and I read them all. I really do. I'm surprised so many of you are from the UK. I don't know how I got over there. I thank you guys for watching. That's really cool. I'm surprised. A lot of my brother Germans and Austrians as well, so I'm kind of amazed. That's really cool. Thank you guys for tuning in. If people are gonna hate or say terrible things in the comments, I'm just going to delete them, or I'll let the people that are positive and here take care of those comments for me, probably. That's maybe even a better method. But regardless, that's my feelings on that. So I appreciate you guys reaching out to me, and that's what I'm here for. I want to hear from you. If you want to license any of my merchandise or pictures or the film, I'm easy to get a hold of, and I make it very easy. Also, if you're interested, people have asked me about this for a long time, and I've made it super easy for you to get pictures of the Patterson film. My work, it's beautifully displayed. I'm getting great feedback from it, people telling me that it's a conversation starter. It looks great in their office, but you can get one too. They come in multiple sizes, whatever fits your budget. Also, a very cool coffee mug. Coffee mugs are neat. They're also fun to have around, so I would encourage you guys to go there and get a coffee mug. There's all kinds of other neat merchandise, snow globes, t-shirts, but hey, I appreciate you guys doing that and going there. I wanted to say and give a shout out to some content creators that I really admire out there that are just doing what I really consider great content. Now, you guys tune in, you follow other channels, I'm sure, in this genre. But I would, and anything I mention on this, even the topic of this, I will put links to in the description down below. If there's something I failed to put a description or a link to in the description, just let me know, and I'll go back and edit it and put it in there for you. But a couple of the content creators that I really admire and I want you guys to check out are Robert Maxwell, Cabin in the Woods. He is putting out some really thoughtful content. He does a lot of research. He puts a lot of time into his videos, and I think you'll really enjoy it. He's even put out a song. I just love it. He's so positive, a nice guy, and I think that's what this community could use a lot more of. Another person whose channel I want you to check out is Lazy Cowboy. I think Lazy Cowboy is doing a fantastic job at educating people on the Bluff Creek topography and landscape and how that whole film and scene was shot and went down. So it's very important for you guys to check out Lazy Cowboy. That would be very cool. Please go look at it. Links in the description down below. Once again, if you're going to leave comments, be positive. If you're a skeptic, I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know why you're even around. This is a topic for people that know and are believers and want to know more and research any way that they can. That's why this is here. It's not for skeptics or those type people or people who want to make negative comments. Bullies, I don't care what anyone says, they're just bullies. And I want you guys, if they pop up in the comments, to really just take care of those people for me, all right? I'm going to skim past them, and if I leave the comment there, that's why I'm leaving it there. But it's ridiculous. I get, 98% positive comments, and really I had a lot of comments on that last video and a lot of interaction with you, and I really enjoyed that. So that was great for me, and I sure do appreciate it. So a few years back, well, not just a few, 13 years or so back, I was trying to solve some problems I was having in a couple different fields and disciplines, photography, some mechanical engineering, and some programming and electrical. So I found a really cool company and that I just thought, wow, they've got some neat things going on. They use Eulerian video magnification, which is another way to say phase-based magnification. Both of those terms are a fancy way of saying that they reveal temporal variations of movement in objects that are imperceivable to the human eye. And I found this extremely fascinating, and I'm going to show you some videos here in just a bit of some things such as the human eye and an SLR camera and a few other things to show you how much movement there is in objects when you think they're actually still. And this has a lot of cross disciplines when it comes to programming and removing noise from photography or photographs in the digital world. So a lot of cross disciplines. Also, I'll have a link in the website below for you to go look at. But one of the interesting things I thought is, and this brings us to today's topic, okay? We're gonna get around now to this. So I shelved that in my mind, and this brings us around to today's topic, which is going to be Todd Standing. Now, I want to tell you guys, where this video is going is not Todd Gatewood's opinion. I've done some research that I want to share with you. I know you're fascinated about it. I am too. Todd Standing has had some really big names and smart people go out with him, and they've had experiences with him. It's a strange dichotomy, however. He showed us some great photographs and footage, and people want to just crucify him. I think unnecessarily, say terrible things about the guy. I've asked people in the Bigfoot world who said this and that about him that was terrible to me. Well, tell me, how do you know this? And they never cite a good source. And so it's just become hearsay and go-to. And it's terrible. That's just bullying. And honestly, I saw the film that he put out, Discovering Bigfoot, back in 2018. And I got to tell you, I was amazed. I wasn't into, I didn't follow Bigfoot groups or anything like that. I just followed the most mainstream Sasquatch research. And I thought what he was doing was really far up and above and beyond what other people had done. So you guys know how I hit the scene and how I came upon this. And when I did, I got to meet and talk to a lot of people. Most everybody that I've wanted to, actually. And I'm kind of surprised that some pretty big names who have been somewhat critical of Todd Standing haven't really stood up for him. Now, they may feel like it's career death, but hey, I gotta tell you, you're in the world of Sasquatch. What kind of career are you talking about? I don't care what alphabet soup you have behind your name, and I respect all of you for the years and years you've put into your educations. But I'd like to see somebody kind of stand up for the guy and not just get behind the bullies or be timid and quiet, because that's the easy thing to do. I'm not here to do easy things. And this isn't going to be an easy video. A lot of these videos are not out of my love for being here. It's about frustration of other people wanting to talk for me. And I've tried to, visit with a lot of people in this community and get their opinions on, why do you want to talk about gossip in the Bigfoot world when you could be talking about Sasquatch and actual research? You see, it doesn't make any sense. If we're talking around a campfire and I share with you personal stories of defeat in my life, that's not Sasquatch research for anyone to talk about, or problems I might have had, or struggles I might have gone through. That's not Sasquatch research. It has no business in this arena. Yet people want to bring it out and drag it out. And I've noticed that it's just a lot of people who are podcasters, and some people I like that are podcasters. This is another thing. I can disagree with you and still like you. And I don't have to agree with everything you say, and I can still like you. And this seems to be something that's harder for people to do and be able to understand these days. It's just this team mentality of we have to beat you. And that's not the way life works. Human beings are happier working together and not against each other, okay? So this whole thing that in our world today of them putting us on sides and pitting each other against each other, you gotta throw that away. And sometimes just take things and for who they are, agree or disagree and move on, but you don't have to do a character assassination of somebody. I started looking into who'd done research on Todd Standing's videos, and it's not, I mean, no one's really come out and just said, this is why it's not it. I've heard people complain and cry, and I've seen lopsided reviews where they've taken his photos and mirror imaged him. You can't do that, doesn't work, that's cheating. And so anyway, let's fast forward it up to around 2010. No, 2020. 2020, I, like a lot of people, was confined and on lockdown. I had a little bit more time on my hands from less social activity. It came to my mind some of these companies that I had looked at their software and researched and done work on and with, and I thought about the Todd Standing video, and I thought, this is fascinating because in that technology, they can measure pulse on a figure. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be fun if we could put Todd's footage in there and look at the pulse of an individual. And so I took a clip of it because at that time, Reuters had done a big review of this company, and they had a link to a server and website, and this company allowed you to upload your videos and see what you could do. And I thought, oh, this is cool. So I took some screen grab videos of Todd Standing's footage and I uploaded them. And I was amazed. Once again, I wasn't a skeptic on his work. I thought it's truly amazing. It just confirmed something for me, because what it showed was that there was movement, micro movement in the creatures, obvious, and pulse. And so I was astounded. If you fast forward another couple years, about 2022 or so, I've been thrust into this world. I've talked to a lot of people in the Bigfoot world, and I told them about what I had done with Todd Standing's footage. And a couple of them said, oh, I know Todd. And I said, well, awesome. Could you tell that man for me that, what I found, and he might want to go there and do that himself and upload that. And then I talked to him later, and very, very well-known people you all know. And I say, did you tell Todd my request, my petition to show him? And no. And this happened a couple times. So no matter what I told people who knew him, they weren't willing to tell him what I knew. It just so happened that I got to meet him, and he's a very pleasurable person. And I told him about this. I went back to replicate it, and wouldn't you know, they had taken down the link to the website, so I couldn't show him. I don't have to show the man who filmed it that it's real. That's ridiculous. But I did kind of want to show him that confirmation that I had done a few years back and that no one would tell him about, and then I couldn't do it. So that was a little bit frustrating, but I knew what I knew and I saw it. So what I want to do now is let's segue over, let's take a look at some of this technology and what it can do. And then I'm going to tell you what I've done, because the only thing left to do at this point is somehow analyze it by some super sophisticated method. And that would be probably software. And so I thought, hey, paid subscriptions, not free versions of AI, could be very beneficial. It has for me in building a studio and calculating conduit for electric and all sorts of calculations, or grain and seed for my farm, different areas and whatnot. AI can be very, very helpful in doing some of these, what I call word problems, just very complicated word problems that I don't want to work through and then double, triple check myself. And it comes out accurate. I would suggest anytime you use it that you know what you're talking about, because it is fallible, like all things. You even know that in the photos that it tries to do of a Sasquatch, it's limited. You can even ask it. It will tell you that it has limitations on what it can do for anthropomorphic figures such as a Sasquatch, and it won't let you adjust them, which I find fascinating. You should too. Why would they build those presets into it? I don't know. Okay, so what I did use was ChatGPT 4, paid version, Super Grok, paid version, and then Scholar AI. 3 AIs that are speech and conversationally trained to do research. And I asked them, this is what I did, is I had ChatGPT 4 analyze the pictures from Todd Standing and the footage from Todd Standing. I then had Super Grok analyze the same information. It did come out identical. I mean, amazing. And then I had it critique ChatGPT 4. But to triple check everybody, I used Scholar AI, a different AI program for research, deep, hard research. And I had it double check both of those and summarize. So what we're gonna do is explore those, see if there were mistakes made, if one found the other fallible, and what did they come out to? And what am I talking about with this video referencing an analysis? So let's and understand that computers can see things people can't, and micro movements. And micro movements are something you need to be interested in for engineering, if you're building an oil field refinery, for something simple as an SLR camera and the mirror movement. You want to know about these things. At least I do for what I'm doing in my applications in software and software development. So let's take a look at some of these things that I've been talking about now. Okay. This is a website I stumbled upon 13 years ago, CSAIL, and they use a type of imaging they call Eulerian video magnification, and it's a framework for visualizing the human pulse from a video. And they can use a computer to sense the micro changes in a person, and lo and behold, you can see the pulse in this gentleman. It's just quite amazing. I was fascinated. This is super important when you're doing engineering, but it also has medical and security applications. This is an SLR camera. You think it's rock steady, but when you take a picture, the mirror vibrates it. So it shows that there's movement in things you think there's no movement in. So it is a big world of small motions. If you look at this construction crane, magnified 150 times, that motion is quite a bit, isn't it? But it's not perceivable by your eye. You know, speaking of eye, that's one of the creepiest, weirdest things ever. But your eye has to move like that, or you would see a black hole in the center of your vision where your optic nerve is in the back. It moves like this, and your brain compensates for it to keep that black space from creating a black hole in our vision. So this gets us on to Todd Standing's footage. And what you have here, and I'm going to show you, is Todd's footage of Kobodo and Jake, and then 3 still pictures that I fed into the $100 billion plus child of the United States Department of Defense that developed these AI programs. And so this is what those programs said about Mr. Standing's footage and photos, and this is what I wanted it to report as far as what I told it as far as commands go. So I'm going to read to you now. And I want you to know you can watch this video that's moving around. I've slowed each one down 50%, and I've increased the brightness just a little bit so you can see the eyes blinking just a little bit better in a few of those details where it's dark. The computer sees it. I just wanted you guys to. So here we go. This report provides a comprehensive analysis of Todd Standing's Bigfoot footage, particularly focusing on the blinking eye video to determine whether the entries are real or fake and whether they are human based on the provided transcript and attachments. The analysis is conducted 4:30 p.m. Friday, July 18th, 2025. All findings are presented in the context of available data, without influence from external sources like Boing Boing or Reddit, as per the user's request. Todd Standing, known for his claims of documenting Sasquatch evidence, has analyzed video footage to argue for the authenticity of captured creatures. The object here is to evaluate whether the entities in his video are real or fake, and whether they are human, using the provided transcript and attachments. The transcript, prepared by ChatGPT, OpenAI, dated 2025, offers a frame-by-frame investigation, while attachments include images and a text file with the YouTube link. Now, I want to remind you guys that I did have Super Grok check this work, and then Deep Scholar Research check both of them. All right? So here we go. The transcript provides a structured analysis of across several categories, which are summarized below. Introduction and method. The objective is to determine if the eye is biological or artificial. The method involves a frame-by-frame analysis measuring blink duration, eye motion, interocular symmetry, and skin tension. The blink timing analysis. 5 distinct blinks were recorded with the following durations. Blink number 1, 334 milliseconds, full slow blink with visible upper eyelid descent and retraction. Blink 2, 166 milliseconds, partial blink, faster motion primarily from the upper lid. Blink number 3, 209 milliseconds, normal blink duration, clear retraction and rest state. Blink 4, 442 milliseconds, a micro blink, extremely fast, near instant, only visible frame by frame. Blink 5, 42 milliseconds, micro blink, similar to blink 4, barely perceptible in real time. Analyst notes that human blink speeds generally range from 100 to 400 milliseconds, with blinks below 50 milliseconds considered reflexive. The presence of micro blinks is biologically plausible, but rare in puppetry or practical effects supporting a natural process. Eye movement and iris behavior. Observe subtle horizontal and diagonal iris shifts during rest states coordinated with lid retraction. No evidence of painted or fixed irises with movements synchronized or blinks, which is difficult to reproduce mechanically. This indicates authenticity, as human irises naturally shift within sockets, a feature hard to fake. Eyelid, skin, and socket mobility. Skin around the eye compresses and folds naturally during blinking, with observed rebound after blinks. No sign of rigid prosthetic compression or uniformity, with eyelid folds varying in depth and speed, inconsistent with fixed materials like silicone masks. Comparison with prosthetics and masks. no visible seam lines, matte versus gloss paint mismatches, or mirrored reflections of mechanical components. Traditional animatronic masks, latex with servo motors, cannot replicate micro blinks or dynamic skin motion without extensive CGI or expensive practical rigs, further supporting a biological origin. Facial symmetry and eye spacing. When both eyes were briefly visible, measurements showed interocular distance, one eye width apart, consistent with typical human proportions. Eye shape, symmetrical ovals with slight natural vertical offset. No evidence of prosthetic distortion or asymmetrical placement aligning with biological norms. Conclusion. Based on natural blink variations, synchronized iris movement and responsive eyelid skin tension, lack of prosthetic artifacts and symmetry within biological norms, the transcript concludes the eye is from a biological entity, not a puppet, not a mask or a special effect. Yeah. Well, let's keep going. The user provided attachments referenced in the transcript as visual aids. Below is a detailed analysis of each with the relevance to the eye blink. 3 side-by-side photographs of a creature resembling Bigfoot or Sasquatch set against natural forest background with snow and foliage. These images align with the transcript's description of varying blink states, supporting natural blinking behavior. However, static images limit detailed blink frequency or duration analysis as they lack temporal resolution. So, let's keep on going. Blink timing and behavior. The transcript provides specific durations, which are rare in puppetry, supporting a biological origin. The attachments visually show varying eye statements consistent with these timings, although static images cannot quantify durations. Transcript notes no seams, paint mismatches, or mechanical reflections. We went over the durations. To determine whether the entities are human or not, the following points are considered. So here we go. The description of the creature includes a humanoid face covered with dark, shaggy fur, which is not typical for humans. Features such as the lack of eyelashes, smooth texture aligning with fur, and overall morphology suggest a non-human species. The transcript measures interocular distance, eye shapes, etc., are consistent with biological norms, but do not align with typical human features, supporting a non-human classification. Let me state that again. All right. The transcript's measurements are consistent with biological norms, but do not align with typical human features, supporting a non-human classification. Final conclusion. Based on the detailed transcript and the visual evidence from the attachments, the entities in Todd Standing's video are most likely real, biological, non-human entities. The transcript's analysis, including natural blink variations, synchronized iris movements, and lack of prosthetic artifacts, provides strong evidence for this conclusion. The evidence leans towards a biological origin. This report is prepared July 18th, 2025, and all findings are based on the provided data. Well, folks, over $100 billion of the United States Department of Defense analysis, checking itself 3 times on Todd Standing's photography, discovery, and analysis. If you can come up with something better, please do so. Otherwise, let's give the man some respect that he absolutely deserves. Be nice out there to your fellow man, people. We're all in this world together, okay? We can figure this out. We can do it. Hang in there. I will see you guys soon.